but the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Coming to you. Kill.
First carry for Nick Chubb. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016. Jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Taking it about the 16. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
From the 44, Newton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Benardrick McKinney leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. Third and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
50. 180. They still playing.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. From 6 yards away. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And Carolina scores to cap it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They go with Chubb on second down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call a no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Watch out, watch out. Here we go.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From just shy of midfield, Newton, they'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Panthers 7, Texans 0.
Right to the 3. Here we go, again. Double time, double time. You got 3.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And the final piece to the puzzle was the Cam Newton touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Go.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
This is taken at the 15.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right right side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. Newton now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson on first down. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A toss play to Chubb. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Newton to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. On first down, it's Newton. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chip plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Cam fakes the give and keeps it, being chased out left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Newton. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Batted away by the rookie out of Kentucky, Lonnie Johnson. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, Their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Hey, man, watch the boot.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Fights off the and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's 17-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The throw over the middle, taken in. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Newton, and he's got the hook up to Moore. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Well, only needed a yard, instead went backwards. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Check. Crouch.
A run for Nick Chubb. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go.
There he goes left side. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play that time out of Chubb. 72 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And the catch made by Johnson. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this one complete to Reed. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Open man is Samuel, complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Watson now to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Here's Watson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
From the end zone, Newton. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Snags it for the pick. And he will score. It's a touchdown.
Let's go.
Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
That's pulled in at the 32. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score. And the Texans have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he's after a gain of 1, not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. Cam fakes the give and keeps it, escaping the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction and when they try and change directions.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
That's right. Just train tracks, baby.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Throwing on second and long. Newton. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 at the 45. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he works free. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, oh no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Watson and the Texans now down 27-24. A minute 51 on the clock. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up first and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He's back to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Back to throw.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. He'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now it's the Panthers' turn, trailing by 4, 43 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Newton to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Newton to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Houston, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
hook and you don't really want none. But if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it.